Good day everyone. I'm Jed. I upload facts research stories about any topic. If you like these kind of videos, please subscribe to my channel to be notified when I upload new videos like this. So, let's get started.
The Philippine-American War. The Philippine War, also known as the Philippine-American War, is one of the most important episodes in Philippine history. The Filipino-American War took place from 1899 to 1902 between the Philippines and the United States. It originated from the opposition of the Filipinos to the colonialization of America after the rebellion against Spain in 1898. On July 12, 1898, the Treaty of Biak-na-Bato, an agreement between Filipino revolutionaries and the Spanish, was concluded. But, despite having an agreement, the Filipino-American War began on February 4, 1899, without the Americans approaching a settlement. In the early part of the conflict, the Filipinos won some battles, but as time passed, they felt the strength in military technology of the Americans. This led to a complex battle. In the years that followed, it became a battleground of tactical fraud, human rights violations, and strict administration. The outbreak of the war was caused by the misunderstanding between the Filipinos and the Americans after the Treaty of Biak-na-Bato in 1897. Although there was an agreement, the promise of the Americans to stop the rule of the Spaniards in the Philippines was not fulfilled. Instead, the Americans came in and tried to take control of the country. The war began on February 4, 1899, when the Americans launched a surprise attack on the Filipinos in Manila. This continued for 3 years, during which various battles took place throughout the archipelago. During the war, the First Republic of the Philippines was established on January 23, 1899, under the leadership of General Emilio Aguinaldo as the first president. However, this government faced many challenges in the middle of the war, including lack of funds and logistics. The war quickly spread to different parts of the Philippines. Battles became critical in places like San Juan del Monte, Zapote Bridge, and Mabitac. Filipinos have shown their strength and determination in defending their freedom. Another important battle was the Battle of Balantay in Vigan, Ilocos Sur, on March 25, 1899. Here, the battle became complicated due to the death of General Antonio Luna, who was one of the leaders of the war. The incident showed that there are also conflicts within the Filipinos themselves. In order to overthrow the Filipinos, the Americans used different tactics. One of them is the use of divide and conquer, or breaking up the Filipino tribes. They succeeded by promoting propaganda and spreading news to destroy the relationship of Filipinos. In the countryside, there were tribes or ethnic groups that revolted against the Americans. One of the examples is in the opposition of the Igorots of the American forces in the Cordillera. In Mindanao, there were also battles against the Americans. The Moro tribes, especially in Sulu and Mindanao, continued to fight the Americans after the main war. Americans and Filipinos are not the only ones involved in the war. There was also international interest in the said conflict. with several countries joining or assisting the sides. Britain, France, and Spain are some of the countries related to this war. However, the Filipino soldiers showed their courage and desire to defend their country. Many of them gave their lives in battles, and their stories have become symbols of patriotism and bravery. The Filipinos showed their intelligence in the use of guerrilla tactics by attacking from behind or in areas within arm's reach of the Americans. The Filipinos achieved some success. During the war, newspapers and various media platforms emerged. They played a major role in spreading the news, propaganda, and message of the revolution. The media became the way to communicate the events to the masses. During the war, art played an important role in expressing feelings and beliefs. Many works, poems, songs, and works of art appeared that showed resistance to the American occupation. The end of the war. After 3 years of fighting, General Miguel Malvar, the last major leader of the rebellion, surrendered on July 13, 1902. This was the official end of the Philippine War. Although the battle was lost, the spirit of the struggle for freedom remained alive among the Filipinos. Filipinos showed their strong love for the country. Many served and sacrificed their lives for freedom. The rise of true patriotism was one of the most important results of this war. Economic impact. The war had a profound impact on the Philippine economy. As a result of the fighting, many livelihoods and farms were destroyed. The Filipinos continued to allocate funds for the war, which resulted in economic collapse. Because of the destruction and fighting, many communities have suffered and lost their jobs. These have resulted in serious hardship and worry about the future. The war caused effects on the identity of Filipinos. It showed the rise of a national sentiment, the appreciation of history and culture, and the expression of resistance against foreign occupation. The stories of the Filipinos' courage and resistance in the Philippine War have become part of the country's cultural heritage. These are passed on to the future generations to continue to awaken the spirit of patriotism and love for the country.